Yo, what is up guys, Ghost here, welcome back to Stormgate Central. So, exciting times ahead as things ramp up to the third faction reveal on Sunday with the PC gaming show. Frostgiant have started to release a few little tidbits here and there. So yesterday we saw the trailer released, and I'm going to go a little bit over that later on in the video and people's reactions to that. And then just today, we've seen Artosis upload a video of the very first tier 3 unit in the game. It's called the Graven, and it's a Vanguard unit. This is a ambushing type unit. It can cloak itself, and when it attacks from that position, it does double damage with the first shot. It's got 3 different abilities. It's got phase shift that allows it to blink to a certain location, and it immediately enters stealth then and can then do that double damage attack. It also has a sticky bomb that you can throw at a unit or a location that will explode after a few seconds, doing 50 damage and then leaving like a sticky pool of tar on the ground that slows enemy units' movement. But then the big one that I think a lot of people are kind of going nuts about is this new infiltrate ability, which is pretty unique, where it can actually go inside buildings and then have a number of different effects on them. It actually sort of reminds me of the Commando from like the original Command and Conquer. Anybody remember that guy? He would always go inside buildings and be like, "Got a present for you!" And then he'd just like drop a bomb and blow it up. That's pretty much what the Gravens do here. So whenever they infiltrate a structure, after a short duration, they'll do 25% of a target structure's max health as damage, and they will reveal the structure for 2 minutes. It also disables the salvage ability, and afterwards, it actually teleports the Graven to the nearest player-controlled structure. So there isn't really a lot of risk here with using this infiltrate ability. Once you get into the structure, as soon as you're out of there, you're just teleported away and you're free. There's no chance to surround the unit. But then depending on the structure that you infiltrate, it also has a number of different effects. So with command structures, you will also steal 100 Luminite and 50 Therium, and disable the owner's top bar for 1 minute. With production and research structures, you will slow training and research by 200% for 30 seconds. If it's a supply or a defensive structure, it just destroys the structure entirely. And finally, if it is a structure that is constructing, it will slow the construction speed by 200% for 30 seconds. So I think most people's reaction to this, at least if we're judging by the Stormgate subreddit at the moment, is that this unit is probably gonna be a little bit overpowered. Artosis did say in his video that this unit is definitely still being balanced. This is by no means the final version of it, so take this with a bit of a pinch of salt. But on first impressions, at least for me, this looks like some sort of a harassment unit that is going to be present in maybe the mid to late game. I don't think you're going to be able to get this early on. One of the things that wasn't mentioned in the video is what you actually need to build to gain access to this unit. Are we going to have some sort of a third tier upgrade for the command center? Most likely. I believe that was always the plan, so I can only assume that you're going to need that third tier upgrade after you get the command center to gain access to the Graven, so you're not going to be able to spam these out as some like super cheesy early build or anything like that. They do cost a decent amount as well. We also don't really see much footage here of them being gunned down by an enemy army, so it could well be that once a bunch of Vulcans come around the corner, or just a well put together Vanguard or Infernal army, they may get absolutely obliterated. They could be super squishy for all we know, because obviously in this footage here, they're showing them off, right? They're letting them do lots of damage, they're showing them damaging workers and infiltrating buildings and things like that. So I'm not going to call like OP on these just yet. I think we should wait until we've gotten them in the game. I guess that's going to be whenever early access releases, and we'll have a try with them and have a play around with them. After all, that's what early access is for, right? Yes, it is for the development of the game, and one big part of that, especially for an RTS game, is of course game balance. Guys, if you do enjoy the content here on the channel, make sure that you are subscribed. I'm going to be covering everything news-wise for Stormgate, and of course, once early access drops later on this year, I'm going to be going over builds and guides and casted games and all of that good stuff, so keep it here on the channel. A subscription would really mean the world to me, so thank you guys, as always, so much for your support. Now, I just want to quickly touch on the cinematic. I'm sure you guys have already seen this. It was released on IGN's YouTube channel and their website yesterday, and then today it's also been released on the Frostgiant official channel. And what we're seeing here is, I believe, the opening of the very first Stormgate. So this scientist guy is called Clive Cullen. The army dude in green is called Julian, and he's supposed to be Clive Cullen's bodyguard. And you can also see him talking to his daughter Amara, who's going to play a big role in this. Now, they have some sort of an artifact here that is actually, I believe, keeping the Stormgate closed, and this artifact is probably left behind by the third, as of yet unannounced race. And as you guys will see, once he shuts down the artifact, which seems to be repelling the Infernals and stopping the opening of this Stormgate, the Stormgate then springs open and the Infernal host come forth. Now, overall, I think perception to this cinematic has been somewhat positive. A lot of people have wanted to know more about the lore and the world of Stormgate, and a lot of you guys I know are looking forward to the campaign as well. But there's one moment where once a bunch of these infernal units have come out of the Stormgate, there's this huge, badass-looking red demon guy who's floating, and he's called Warz. He's also voiced by Simu Liu. He is, of course, most known for his role in Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, the Marvel movie. But he comes out of the Stormgate, and then he says this.
Fight, cower. Either way, your world will fall.
And I think a lot of people's reaction to this is that he doesn't really look that scary. I guess the way his voice sounds and his overall aesthetic and the fact that he's supposed to be presumably some big bad boss of the Infernal host, I guess I just expected him to look a little bit more like maybe Diablo-esque, maybe have tons of scars on his face from hundreds of battles that he's fought in the past against this third currently unannounced race that I still can't speak about. But he seems to have some sort of a mask over his face. Now, I have one theory that maybe he's going to remove this mask and there's going to be like a big face reveal, story beat in the campaign in the future, and that's the reasoning behind it. However, it seems that the fans aren't the only ones that are a little bit disappointed by the way that Warz looks. So Gerald, the community manager for Frostgiant Games, somebody posted this, which apparently is taken from a Discord conversation, and he says, yeah, many of us felt the same way, and Warz looks quite a bit different in the game these days. I snuck up behind a co-worker, and I took this photo using my phone to give you an idea of what he looks like. Ultra top secret sneak peek here. So, as you can see, his face and the mask that he's wearing has changed a lot. He definitely looks a little bit more menacing here. I think they outsourced the cinematic with another company, so maybe it was just too late to change it before the PC gaming show, and that's what they had to go with the cinematic there. But, overall, it's not the biggest deal in the world to me. Personally, I'm a player that plays for the multiplayer aspect of the game, but that being said, I'm aware that there are plenty of people who are raring to get into the story and the lore of Stormgate, and maybe they only want to play the campaign. But I would be interested to hear what you guys think about it down below. Feel free to leave a comment. What do you think about the new unit, the Graven? And what do you think about the Warz and the overall cinematic? Are you guys excited for Sunday for the big reveal for Stormgate? I know I am. I will be covering as much of that as I can here on the channel, so make sure that you guys are subscribed for that. Thank you guys as always for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.